Test 61C is the ice maker evaporator heater test. Pull the cartridge heater out of the ice maker assembly before starting this test. The electric wires are to be connected and the ambient air temperature needs to be less than 48 degrees in order for the bimetal inline switch to remain closed. Touch the on-off key to activate the heater. Verify manually if the heater is working. Touching the on-off key again will turn the heater off. When diagnosing during the test, if the heater is warming up, the heater is in good working condition and the test is complete. If the heater is not warming up, unplug the 9-pin connector at the ice maker cabinet wall. Restart Test 61C and check for 110 volts on the cabinet side connector across pin 4 and pin 1. If voltage is present, remove the right side cover and disconnect the heater from the bimetal harness. Check for approximately 380 ohms across the heater. If the resistance is in range, use an ohm meter to inspect the harness and connections for bad wires and terminals. If there is low resistance, check for water in the connectors or damaged wires. If there is high resistance, check for loose wires or bad connections. Inspect the bimetal and repair as necessary. Then power on the unit if unplugged and re-enter Test 61C. If the resistance was not in range, replace the heater, then power on the unit if unplugged and re-enter Test 61C. If voltage was not present between pins 4 and 1, reconnect the inline connector and restart Test 61C and check for voltage at the ice maker board across J4-11 and J4-7. If voltage was present, use an ohm meter to inspect the harness and connections for bad wires and terminals. If there is low resistance, check for water in the connectors or damaged wires. If there is high resistance, check for loose wires or bad connections. Inspect the bimetal and repair as necessary. Then power on the unit if unplugged and re-enter Test 61C. If voltage was not present, unplug the unit and use an ohm meter to check the F2 and F3 glass fuses. If a fuse was not blown, check defrost thermostat by jumping at the defrost thermostat harness. Does the heater come on? If the answer is yes, replace the defrost thermostat and re-enter Test 61C. If the heater does not come on, replace the ice maker board and reconnect J4 to the ice maker board, then power on the unit if unplugged and re-enter Test 61C. If a fuse was blown, disconnect the J4 high power plug from the ice maker board and use a meter to check for short to ground on the heater circuit or check to see if the heater shorted internally, both on the defrost heater and mold heater circuits. Check for water in the connectors or damaged wires. Inspect all wires. Replace heater and bimetal as necessary and reassemble. Reconnect the J4 connection to the ice maker board and power on the unit if unplugged and re-enter Test 61C.